SportsChatPlace.com and PickDogs.com. It's Friday, June the 5th, 2020. And, of course, we've got a live show today. Boy, I'm surfing. I'm playing golf. I feel better than I ever have in a long time. I feel better than I have. No lawsuits, no people I have to deal with, no nothing. But unfortunately, no sports. My golf game is improving, but yesterday shot my highest score in a while, 86. I gotta say, man, these golf courses here in Hawaii are tough. I shot 86. My handicap index went down. That's how hard these courses are. Anyways, got Bundesliga for Saturday. Our show runs a little bit later than when these games start. At least some of them. So we do our Bundesliga picks for Saturday. On Friday, we do our, we kind of stay ahead if the games are early. And then because tomorrow's show is going to be jam-packed. We got UFC. We have a NASCAR race. We've got, we got Rod and Chris. They're going to tell you all about this stuff. They get very excited about it. Anyways, we're going to bring in Steve Monahan quickly, and we're going to talk about the latest and greatest from our friends at Major League Baseball. Steve, are you still a baseball fan at this point? Good morning, by the way.
Oh, good morning. Yeah, I have my Thurman Munson, my Derek Jeter, and my Mariano Rivera still behind me. But like everyone else, I'm starting to get real tired of the back and forth between the owners and players. And yesterday, the players rejected the owners, and here we are in this July 4th date now. Let's face it, it's in jeopardy. Typically pitchers need, I think, a month to get ready, quote, in theory. I don't think they're close right now. I don't think they're close.
Let's go to this month number, all right? Let's start there with this month to get ready number, okay? These guys are professional athletes paid top dollar to perform their craft, right?
Correct.
Don't they have an obligation to stay in somewhat playing shape, knowing that a season could be coming?
You would think so, but it's all about the money.
To me, it was
to
me, it was always stunning that John Lester knew he was going to bat. If he pitches 6 innings, he's going to bat at least twice a game every time he pitches. He makes $25 million and can't spend 5 minutes a day in the batting cage. With the machine turned on to Goose. It's like, I mean,
I know.
I don't know. I mean, wouldn't you have one built at your house? And it's like if you retire, they just remove the thing, so what? Like, I mean, Shaq put in a whole gym in his house, and he's like, they had the thing when he was on Cribs. He's like, see, I do practice every day, the free throws. He's like, it's not like I don't try. He's like, he goes, I know what everyone says. He's like, I do practice. Look at this. Right. It was, pretty amazing to see. But, I would think that these guys are in better shape than what the owners think, and I'm going to guess they're in better shape than the owners. I think that they always err to the outside, but I think 2 to 3 weeks they should be able to do it. And I think what you see in the fact that these guys get to spring training, it's not like they go to spring training, pitchers and catchers report, right, and then it's the spring training, but it's not months, before they start playing those spring training games, right?
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, just. Maybe,
and it's not like players today are looking like David Wells or somebody that's gonna drive his bike into spring training after leaving the bar at 3 a.m. and showing up for spring training. These guys, they with the nutrition and everything else, most of them I'm sure are going to show up in shape. But again, the owners and players are far apart on the revenue. The players don't trust the owners. Let's be real. You had a quote from Tom Ricketts, who is the owner of the Cubs, saying, he bought the team for $700 million.
He's the biggest
6 years ago.
And of all the owners,
it's worth
he's
$3 billion.
He's the one I hate the most. He's worth how much? How much is it?
The Cubs are valued now at $3.2 billion.
Yeah, and you know
right?
what? And you know what he said the day he bought the Cubs? This is a business, and I'm going to treat it like one. And he said
Right.
this from day one. And it's just like, I don't care about this or whatever. The Cubs are an embarrassment of an organization from top to bottom. This is a team
I
that
agree.
sold losing to their fans for years and charged top dollar for it,
Oh, sure.
I left Chicago, 6 years ago at this point? $85 for a bleacher seat when I left. I'm sure it's even higher than that.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad for baseball. They're I guess the area around Wrigley Field, they're kind of turning into this amusement park. Of course, all at the cost of the local business owners. I'm not a big Ricketts guy. I'm not a big Cubs guy. Most people know that. I'm not even a big baseball guy anymore. And it's like,
Yeah.
this
I agree.
sucks the life out of you.
But back to Ricketts, the reason I bring him up, and I say he bought the team for $700 million, it's worth $3.2 billion, but he keeps saying, well, the misconception is that the Cubs, have $3 billion at their disposal, and why can't they pay about that? And then he just comes back with, well, it's not like we have piles of money lying around. It's the revenue from the gate. It's this, that, and the other thing. So there's quote unquote only X amount.
What's the
dollars
definition of
lying
piles? What's the definition of piles?
around.
I'll tell you one thing.
So when you read a
How about
statement
this?
like that,
How about
you're
this?
like,
How about this? How about this?
really?
I bet he does have piles of money sitting around.
Of course he does.
The guy owns a bank,
Yeah.
right? I mean, he owns a bank.
Pallets.
Right?
Pallets and pallets of cash.
It's like the scene from War Dogs where they go in and sell the Berettas, where it's like
I think Major League Baseball is really, I think it's 60-40 that they play now.
Oh, they're gonna play. They're just gonna drag us through and drag us through. Oh, they're gonna play. Believe me.
I think at the end of the day they will. However, the clock is ticking, man.
It's like they want the owners to sell bags of peanuts, by themselves to cut out the peanut guy's salary to give to the players. This is what they want. It's
That's a good analogy.
I'm not hearing the happy, let's find him. I haven't heard from the players yet. Let's find a happy place. They're more like, it's our way or the highway. Well, the owners say, hey, let's try and find something. And it's like, normally I'm not an owner's guy. Hate Bug Selig, right? The idea of him as commissioner, hated it. Well, I've hated almost every commissioner that's come down the pipe, right? I mean, who are we kidding, right? It's like Bowie Kuhn, hate him. Giamatti, hated him. Peter Ubroth, hated him. It's like, Bud Selig, hated him.
Hey, Vincent.
Hated him. I hated him even more than I hated Giamatti. It's like he was a Giamatti guy, and I hate him, and I hate him too. It's like, because it's like they don't even make sense. It's like I hate the guys who, it's like they're more interested in proving a point than anything else. And that's what I thought, with most of these guys have done. I think here with Manfred is a little bit of a turn, a softer guy, but he's under so much pressure by the owners. He has not a lot of choice. He tries to come across as even. He's probably the most likable commissioner we've had in my lifetime that I can remember.
Yeah.
And,
He's
but
sharp guy.
Yeah, answers my calls, doesn't return them, but they answer them. And, I mean, he's that's how accessible he is,
Right.
But I think that, he's in a tough spot here. And he needs to, they need to be able to address these players and to say something. And the owners, too, It's like, it's not in any of their best interest to cancel the season. I think someone needs to start by saying that. And we have not heard that from the players. That, hey, canceling the season is not in our best interest, and it's not in the best interest of the future of the game, because what they're going to show is really bad revenues. So when that agent goes to negotiate those contracts for the young guys now, the Aaron Judges of the world, they're not going to have those numbers to show.
Yep.
They're not going to have those Cokes. You know, they're obviously not going to have the Cokes and all the other stuff that they've sold in the stands. But I'll tell you what, the TV revenue, when that goes to zero, I mean, of course, DirecTV is still charging me for my subscription. You know, for what, I don't know. The thought of calling them, it's just not. I'll do it tomorrow, right? That's it. It's like DirecTV. I'll call them tomorrow. Agent, I said agent. It's like, oh.
From the player's point of view, Andrew Miller made a statement I read, and again, it's just generic that they're not. This prorated salary, and it's back and forth, and obviously the players, 114 game proposal, so they get more money. I still think 82 is probably going to be the amount of games played, but Andrew Miller's point was it's not worth the risk to play at the prorated salary, whatever that is. But
what's the risk? I'm missing.
Exactly.
I'm missing the risk. What's the risk of injury?
Right. It's the same risk of pulling a hamstring, blowing your shoulder out, breaking your fingernail, and yes, of course, there's corona out there. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Everybody has
certainly has
susceptible to corona.
I don't watch much news, but the clips I've seen, it certainly hasn't stopped people from going out and congregating. I'll tell you that much. Anyways,
that's exactly right.
Anyways, NBA is coming back. 22 teams.
That's good news. That's good news for all of us.
I would have loved to have seen the 30. And I'll tell you what, the NBA has a salary cap. The NBA has like a really modified a way of signing your players back, of keeping your players and all those different things. And, there's ways to manipulate the cap to kind of, later and all these other ways around it. They have found a way for this to work. And I haven't heard an NBA player complain about his salary, I mean, not at all,
Yeah.
Somehow, how do they get this to work, but Major League Baseball can't, We're talking, I'm not sure if the NBA players, I think, well, the thing is that the NBA players, while we always think like endorsement deal, not everybody has an endorsement deal. Some guys have a shoe. Most guys have a shoe deal of some kind that they wear a certain brand and they get a little something for that. But we're not talking about like the Michael Jordan, It's like
Gatorade or whatever, or you know what I mean, like major endorsements.
Like Michael Jordan is like when I drive
a brand.
I remember that commercial for was it the 280Z? Not was the Camaro 280ZX? No, Camaro Z.
IROC or something.
Yeah. I drive a Chevy. Remember that? It was like, IROC. It was the IROC version of things.
The IROC.
Yeah, and it was like him slamming a basketball. He's like, when I play, I rock. And when I drive a Chevy. It was awesome, right? It was like, not everybody gets that deal. I understand that, But I don't know. I think that, the 12th guy on the bench is still doing okay in the NBA. And it's like those guys know that if they can get their time on the floor and prove their space, And I think to me, that's what it's all about. I think the players want, I think Major League Baseball, anything that leads to reduced salaries, anything like that, brings them closer to a salary cap situation, which is great for the fans. But that's what they're trying to avoid here, is anything remotely close to a salary cap. They're the only sport that doesn't really have one. And that is the issue here,
Right.
That is really
the
issue.
Back to your point of the other day, Adam Silver, right? So the press conference that Adam Silver has, you can absolutely see how respected this guy is. He listened to all these proposals. Anything, that came across, he was open-minded. He listened to it, and finally weeded these out. In fact, he said, because Jordan is the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, and the Charlotte Hornets are one of the 8 teams that are not going to be down there. And you know what? In the meeting, he referenced Michael Jordan. At the end of the day, it was about being competitive. It was like, not water this down, play for a championship. It's basketball, right? And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, in
so,
December.
it's
in
just
December.
based, yeah.
In December,
Couple
we're going to
regular
start again.
season games, a
Christmas
play-in
Day.
thing, and it's all business.
Christmas Day. Maybe we won't have to suffer through the Knicks this year, and we'll be off to the races. It's
That's
like,
right.
I mean, there was some, Christmas Day always just, great NBA, but it's like for years we were stuck with the Knicks at that early game. Thankfully, it's like it's 6 o'clock in the morning my time. I'm out surfing, so it's like I don't have to watch that dribble. Anyways,
most of our audience it doesn't have the pain I have of having to watch the Knicks for 80 plus games.
Our
You only
local,
get 'em
unlike baseball where I have 5 or 6 local teams. In basketball, my local team is the Lakers, so we're fairly good there, and the Clippers.
Yeah.
Anyways, gonna bring in the puck dogs here. Steve, will have you back for the sim picks. I think this is a conversation that can go on and on. I know we have a lot of sports going on this weekend, but next week, maybe we'll have some news. I don't know, man. I'm starting to give up on baseball. It's just easier to take pot shots at them than to try and find reason here. Anyways, I just switched it the wrong way, but let me bring in Chris and then Rod. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing great. Sounds like all for the love of money now.
Chris, can we hear you? He can't hear. Nope, we cannot. He's got us muted, and he is muted. Let's talk about him then. Anyways, we've got Bundesliga action this weekend, and we've got the games start early. The games start early, so the games start early. So we do Saturday's games today. Chris, can you hear us now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, yeah, now we can. Thank you. But anyways, let's just get right into it, and let's get right into it and
for a second.
And see where we are.
There's one Bundesliga game today.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we got Borussia Mönchengladbach and our favorite team Freiburg. Like I said last time, I'm done with Freiburg. They've only picked up 2 points since they restarted the Bundesliga, and Gladbach's playing just much better. They're unbeaten in 9 of their last 11. The 2 losses came to Leverkusen and Dortmund, so I'll take Mönchengladbach to win at -140. But each of the last 6 have seen both teams score between Freiburg and Mönchengladbach, so I'll take Gladbach and both teams to score at +240 as well.
I like Gladbach here as well. And I'm going to go with a final score of 2-1 +700. Gladbach wins 2-1.
All right, what do we got tomorrow early?
The headline game, Bayer Leverkusen and Bayern Munich. I mean, as talented as these two sides are, I think Munich's focus was all on the rivalry game against Dortmund. I think Leverkusen can keep them close here. I'll take the under 3.5, but I'll also go with Leverkusen to win with under 3.5 +850. They've won back-to-back games against Munich. I think they can keep them close here.
Rod?
And for me on this game, Munich has never beaten Leverkusen by more than 2 goals. So for me, this is a nice spot to. I'm going to take Leverkusen +2 to at -175, and I'm going to put that into the birdcage.
What do we got next, Chris?
Another one, Hoffenheim and Fortuna Dusseldorf. My initial lean was to Hoffenheim, but 3 of the last 5 games ended in draws, and both teams need the points. So I'm going to have a hard time picking a side. I'm just going to take the under 2.5 at +120. I see it being a low-scoring game.
Rod?
Yep. Love that. I love the under 3 here at -120. And I'm going to take the draw here at Dusseldorf and Hoffenheim.
We call that a Puck Dogs group hug. Go to the next game here, Chris.
Eintracht Frankfurt and Mainz. And as much as I've crapped on Frankfurt, They've won back.
Well, you've crapped on
games
mines
and-
equally. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, come on. Let's call it what it is. You know, we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. That mines lost in that first game when they came back. I mean, you pretty much shellacked them.
Well, we're gonna shellac them again. I see Frankfurt winning this. I see Frankfurt winning this game in even money, and I see it being low scoring here as well. So I'll take Frankfurt to win and under 3.5 at plus 230.
Mine's really not coming out of the break well. Rod, what are you looking at here?
Ugly game is what we're looking at here. I'm going to go with the draw. Give me the draw. Frankfurt and Mainz, draw. Plus 265, I think I see. Yeah, plus 265. Draw.
And the last of the 9:30 games Eastern, Leipzig and Paderborn. It's like I said, Paderborn's done. They're on their way back down to the second division. But the problem is I can't lay crazy juice with Leipzig. I think they're at minus 730 the last I looked.
Yikes.
And even the minus 2 handicap is laying juice. So I'll take Leipzig to win and both teams to score no at plus 110.
So basically, you want to put the Leipzig Amanda Nunes parlay in the Facebook group and throw in a couple of these.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Act like you did something, you know. It's like I got a great parlay. Pays as a parlay minus 473, but nailed it.
Like the bundles of cash with the wings.
For me in this game, I like Leipzig. Leipzig's gonna roll Paderborn. They're the bottom of the league. Come on now, easily score 4 goals. I see this game as 4-0. I'm taking Leipzig minus the 2.5 at plus 100. So they easily win 3-0, 4-0, maybe even 5-0. So for me,
I've been
easy minus 2.5.
I've been approached by a lot of companies that ask me if we would want something where the audience can track their own bets, like on our site, and I generally say no to them because I think that most people bet the game and that's how they enter their bets and track it. Like if you look at Charles's spread knowledge, he has a thing, where they enter bets, and I always give him a hard time about it, because he gives it so much space on the thing, and I'm always like, people, they enter their bets into their online book, they don't need to enter it twice, and he's like, well, people use it. I'm like, no, they hit the button by accident because the space is too big, and that's what you're seeing. And we go back and forth on it. It's his software, so I lose all the time on it. But I think it would be something fun for the Facebook group to show, where everyone had something where they, every time, if you want to put a pick in the Facebook group, that you need to enter it in this way and show it in this format, and it will keep a running total of how these picks have gone, because it's easy to hit big. Well, it's not necessarily easy, but let's just say you're going to hit a lot of big favorites, but all it takes is 1 minus 785 to lose, right? And it's it's 8 bets, right? It's 8 bets, and that's like hitting an 18 parlay just to get back to even. It's not, you're not going to get paid out like an 18 parlay, but hitting 8 consecutive is like hitting, right, to get back to even there. It's like 18 parlay. You're going to be behind the 8 ball because theoretically winning 8 in a row is nearly impossible. So it's like you're going to be constantly chasing, and for a while, one loser like that, just one. What else we got going on? That's it.
We had the one game at 12:30 tomorrow. It's part of my bird cage, but it's 12:30.
All right. So so tomorrow we got UFC. We got more Bundesliga for Sunday. Not as many games, right?
Yep.
And we have one NASCAR race for tomorrow as well. Then Sunday, more Bundesliga.
And the NASCAR race.
And the resumption of Major League Baseball we're going to talk about. Anyways, let's bring in Steve Monahan. One more thing. NHL going to phase 2 of their whatever you call it. But to me, it's like you got to announce venues and you got to announce dates, or I don't care. Because they're still saying if the NHL season resumes. I'm still hearing that phrase.
Yeah, because they can't 100% say. They can't 100% say that, okay, we're going to have it here.
Why?
Why? Because you still have people out there running around. There's how many groups of people that are running around that definitely ain't social distancing.
Yeah, but so the NBA,
sure.
but the NBA is doing it.
That doesn't mean they're going to do it.
Yeah, they are.
Just because they announced and gave you a date, that doesn't mean that when that date comes time,
Oh, they're going to do
gonna
it.
be able to
Oh,
play.
yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are.
Well,
Yes,
I'm not going to.
Yes, they are.
That's what we're hoping for.
Wow. Rod just bad vibing the whole situation here. All right. Speaking of
I'm
bad
not bad
vibes,
vibing anything. I'm just
speaking of bad vibes,
trying
we'll
to
bring
be-
Steve Monahan back on for the sim picks
I'm
section.
just being
of the show.
realistic. They can't give you a date.
Your attitude stinks. Anyways,
Okay, my attitude stinks.
it's your attitude. It stinks.
I want sports back just as much as the other guy.
Not with that attitude, you're not going to get it.
Computer players picking computer players? Eesh.
You're not getting sports with that attitude, I'll tell you that much. Stinks.
If Gary Bettman will have it, they'll be playing hockey well before basketball's even started. Let's put it that way. He wants hockey to be number one.
It's not going to be number one. Speaking of hockey, Rod with the big simulated winner yesterday with the puck line Tampa Bay Lightning pick. I say Tampa Bay Lightning can go suck it any which way you slice it. But Rod, what do we got for today on the simulated ice?
Today we've got the Anaheim Ducks at the San Jose Sharks. Give me the Sharks at home. Sharks on the money line, plus 100.
So do they, like, when they're doing these simulated games, they just crank the air up, to like, put it down to like 60 or something,
They might.
It's like, let's take it in, man. It's like NHL arenas have like a different smell than any other, right? Like during the hockey, it's kind of a different smell than any other arena. It's a different.
Oh yeah.
It's a different. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, because you can go into an NHL arena during a concert, and it'd be like you get a concert smell. And then you go into hockey, and it's like, what is that? there's
Well, back in the
there.
day, the concert smells were even different than they are today. Trust me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And rush
With
concerts.
vaping now, it's not quite as prevalent in the in the air at a concert, if you know what I
Well,
mean.
Oh, I know. You've been to go to a Kiss concert. I was at a Kiss concert, and there was so much smoke, man. You couldn't even see. If you weren't a smoker, you were smoking because you were just breathing it in because it was this cloud of Gene Simmons floating through the air, coming through this cloud of haze.
I may or may not have been at that concert. I will neither confirm nor deny the allegations. Chris, how did we do yesterday?
The Titans beat the Dolphins 31-9.
Lost that.
The Colts beat the Patriots outright
Woo,
30-27.
money line, baby. Got it right there. Money line on the Colts. Oh, there it is. Colts money line.
The
7
Falcons
points,
beat the
right? It was
Patriots
7.5, right? That was a
It
big
was
one.
plus 7, yeah.
So that makes up for everything. Anyways, what else we got?
Falcons beat the Eagles 31-27.
I'm gonna need it to make up everything the way this is going.
And the Vikings beat the Rams 24-7.
2-1 with the money line winner. We'll take that all day long.
Yeah, 1-3.
1 and 3.
There it is. We have a question by Sean Atland. Have you ever thought of putting timestamps in the description after live shows posted as a video? Sometimes I miss the show. I'm looking for just one thing, like 23 minutes sim hockey. Well, generally, at the end of these shows, when we go to the 4 squares at the end of the show, that's when the simulated picks start. But I've thought about it, but the way that I've thought about it is hiring someone to do that because I'm not going to say that my time is more important than others. I'm going to say that I have every day about 3 to 4 hours of free time. This is from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed. I surf and I play golf, or I surf or play golf, or I do one of those things during that time. The rest of the time, you see how many, like during the regular time, how many Pick Dogs videos I do every day, 30, 40, right? A day, several live shows, halftime shows, all that stuff. Plus, you guys don't see, my email and all the calls that I'm on, basically 2 to 3 every day. Of things about the site and people interested in doing this with us or that with us. So it's just one of those things that it's like, if you can't, my philosophy, and Chris will tell you this, because he's been with me for a while, is that if we're not going to do it consistently, then I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it once and then the next day we don't do it. It's like, that's not the way to do it. I love the idea of this idea by Sean Allen. I love the idea. But I love the idea of hiring somebody else to do it. So if you want to do it, just shoot me an email. I will pay you to do it. How's that? Not a lot, but I'll pay you to do it. There we go. Chris.
So today, 12 Eastern, Browns -2.5 at the Jets.
Oh, God.
Give me the Browns -2.5.
Is Gase coaching?
Yeah.
Has Gase got the beard or no beard?
I'm on the Browns
Not-
in an ugly game.
I'll go Browns.
It was
Take the over 55.
the John Vicente. It was the game everyone hoped they wouldn't see.
This one, I don't care if he doesn't play.
Sam
I really
Darnold and Baker Mayfield squaring off. It's like, ouch. It's like
At 3 Eastern.
Peyton Manning, like the most optimistic guy, like looks just like, it's like, whoa. And it's like the announcer's calling sick. It's like, all right, where the hell's Al Groh? This is we'll put Grow in, we'll get him in off ESPN 3, we'll throw Grow in there.
Wasn't your last sighting of Al Groh in like Idaho or something like
That was
that?
not Grow generally gets like one of the ESPN 3 or ESPN Plus games, but that was 2 years ago when I first spotted the return of Al Groh. It was at the Kibbe Dome in Idaho. It was like it was Idaho versus Troy, and it was like I went out, on Twitter and everything, and even on all my friends on tweet. If you're looking for Grow, he's at the Kibbe Dome calling the game. It's like the Kibbe Dome. It's like, let's build a dome stadium that holds about 6,000 people. It's like
Maybe Al Groh will come one day.
I think it's actually bigger than that. And I'll tell you what, in a place like Idaho, it's probably more than welcome. But it's not like the Superdome or something. It is the Kibbe Dome. So I got the Browns here. What do we got, Chris, next?
All right, 3 Chiefs -6 at the Texans. I think the Chiefs.
Texans +6.
I'll go Texans.
Chiefs -6 versus Texans. Chiefs -6 versus Texans. Oh, man. God, there's such bad games today. I'll take, there's some really bad simulated games played by computers. Take the Chiefs. They've screwed me every single time. They're my Minnesota Timberwolves of simulated Madden 20 computer-generated football. They are, man. My Minnesota Timberwolves, like, can't win with them, can't win without them.
It's 7 Cowboys at the Packers in a pick'em.
Green Bay.
I'll take Green Bay.
You think the Cowboys are the most overrated of the simulated teams when it comes to the ratings of the players?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. 100% overrated.
Yeah, I'd have to say, because,
I'll take the Pack.
Steve doesn't.
What? You're taking the Packers?
I am.
Even Steve thinks 10,000
Wait a minute.
is overrated.
Let me ask.
It was the resi-
Let's ask the important question about this one.
We've been overrated for 25 plus years
Is
on.
Is Andy Dalton on the roster or no?
No.
Well, Andy, is a Texas kid, so he's
The answer.
acclimated himself down
the
at
answer,
the
man.
Star.
It's like
If Dak sees a little lightning, he might run away in the stands. And
Kitten
I
is
still
like,
think for one.
Kitten
I
is
still
like,
think for 1
Kitten is
year,
like,
it's not
I
a
could
bad
still
sign.
play, man. I could still play if you need me. Kitten.
Break chops all you want.
This
It's
kid-
still
what-
it's a good signing for a year.
Was Kittner retained?
I think he was. I think six guys from Jason's staff, McCarthy capped. I think actually Kitten is one of them, quarterback coach.
There you have it. He's a
Right.
he's a people person.
Absolutely.
Just a great guy.
Once a cowboy, always a cowboy.
Once a cowboy, Bengal, Seahawk. It's like University of Washington. It's like always.
I mean, he's not Josh McCown with his landing spots, that type of thing.
It's like it's the Edwin Jackson. It's like
I was just going to say the Edwin Jackson of the NFL.
it's like yeah. White Sox. It's like, man, I'd really like a White Sox jersey. I got one right over here. It's like a National jersey. I got it.
What is he up to? 15 teams, I think.
Oh, more than that.
15, yeah.
Is that what
Right?
it is? Is that what it is? Oh my God.
15.
It's crazy, yeah. I mean, he's the biggest nomad of them all.
And the last one at 10 Eastern, Chargers at the Rams. Chargers -3.5.
Chargers -3.5. The Rams
Go
are-
Chargers, go.
I'm going Chargers.
The Rams stake in this sim stuff.
Oh my God!
They're
Don't they
brutal.
share this? Don't they share the stadium? Right, just like the Giants and the.
Yeah, they probably do.
It's like the Clippers and the Lakers, the Rams and the things. It's like this is.
Jets, Giants.
Oh man, I think there's nothing worse than the baseball football sharing. That's the worst, man. In the football game, the guy slides into second base. It's like it's a mud game, and it's like the guy's got a kick from the home plate or something. It's like true story
What
when
the heck
they
is that?
when they redid the turf at Wrigley Field.
Oh, we have something to drive through? What's that?
We've got a drive-by.
Lemon?
It's like my cousin Vinny. No, the train normally comes by at 5:18 to 4:18. You said there would be no train at 4 a.m. Well, the train normally comes at 3:48 a.m.
Rain comes at 5.
It's up in the grass. It's getting cut.
Oh, man. If nothing else, this Corona's giving us some great movie and TV reference time. Yeah, really
I
is.
finished Breaking Bad. I will say it was a big fan. Huge fan.
Now, Better Call Saul.
I'm on season 1, episode 10.
It is right, and so now you're into it far enough to realize this is a really good show. I mean, like,
And then I watched El Camino, the movie about Jesse. It was okay.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
All right, anyone else got anything else to say? Because tomorrow we got a big day. We might start about 15 minutes early tomorrow.
Yeah, here we go. Here's my Bundesliga birdcage. Yep. I've got two. I'm going to go with a long shot and then one that I really love. I'm going to take Leipzig, -2.5. Leverkusen, +2. And Gladbach, money line. Those three there should give you about a +430. And now here's my bomber. I'm going to take Leverkusen and Munich to draw, +380. I'm going to take Frankfurt and Mainz to draw, +265. And I'm going to take Hoffenheim and Dusseldorf to draw, +255. Parlay those three together, give you close to +6,000.
Rod's like, a birdcage that's going to be the shittiest week of Bundesliga soccer you've ever seen. 3 draws. It's like
3 draws.
I got one too. It's not going to pay you 60 to 1, but I got Frankfurt win with the under 3.5, Leipzig to win with both teams not to score, and Dortmund win with both teams to score at plus 1667.
All right. All good?
Yeah, we're
You
good.
done? What are you guys doing today? Anything good? Chris? Do some gardening? Gonna go down to the
I think
gym,
I might try to fix up the Zen garden a little bit,
rake some sand?
make some sand.
Nice. Rod, anything special going on? Big Friday?
I have dogs, so I'll be walking the dogs at least 2-3 times a day. Walking the dogs, and then I'll be watching the horses.
Steve,
Belmont's
anything?
going. I like Belmont. I really like Belmont.
I love
Nice
Belmont.
track.
I love Belmont.
Yeah.
Anything, Steve? Got to share
Nah,
with
nothing in particular.
Plan on doing nothing. I'm gonna do a marathon.
One word. Nothing.
Yeah. I haven't seen a good episode of Pitmasters recently. I had to watch reruns again. Nailed the brisket. It's like that was when COVID first started. Flip the damn cowboy steak. It's like, all right. Have a good day, everyone.
I'll see you, boys.